The Game of Thrones in the UK continues. Brexit was a surprising result for the establishment. 52-48, they decided that they're going to leave the EU. And since then, it has been one unbelievable turn of events after another. So David Cameron, the Prime Minister, decides he's going to step down. And while everybody's like, oh, no problem, Boris Johnson is likely to win the next election, oops, he steps down. We explained that in a previous show. And round we go with whoever's going to sit on the Iron Throne. Well, up next is possibly Nigel Farage. He wasn't going to be the favorite, but he was one of the people who led the exiting campaign to leave. And now, all of a sudden, he steps down. He says, my aim in being in politics was to get Britain out of the European Union. That is what we voted for in the referendum 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's it. You, power-hungry politician, had no interest in further power. Really. He went on to say, that is why I now feel that I have done my bit. I couldn't possibly achieve more than we managed to get in that referendum, so I feel it's right that I now step aside. Yeah. I don't believe you. All of a sudden, they're all dropping like flies. Some folks, I don't know who they are, have made a decision that this is not the direction we'll be going. So Nigel Farage had no intention of stepping down after he won the vote. This is obviously a recent turn of events. Somebody convinced them. I have no idea how they convinced them. I got no love for the guy. Super excited that he won't be around to pollute the UK anymore with his brand of politics. That being said, oh, golly gee, I decided to retire at the height of my power is not a very credible explanation. As to one of the reasons why I don't like Farage, and there are many, Farage made headlines the morning after the EU vote when he was the first official to admit that many of the Leave campaign's claims, namely that Britain's payment of £350 million a week to the EU would be rerouted to national health care, were not true. Of course. Now, we go to the other side and to the left. Now, we were talking about Jeremy Corbyn. Well, he was part of the Remain movement, but some said too reluctantly, so now they're coming for him. Britain's opposition leader, Jeremy Corbyn, will face a leadership contest unless he considers his position, Labour Party lawmaker Angela Eagles said on Monday, saying she has the necessary support to trigger a challenge and is ready to do so. Corbyn has refused to resign following Britain's vote to leave the European Union, despite mass defections from his policy team and a no-confidence motion that was passed by an overwhelming majority of lawmakers in his own party. Well, that part is true. So this is yet another palace coup. Seems like there's a lot going around these days. Except this time it's a little different. When you tell conservatives, hey, be a good boy. If you're a good team player, by the way, if you're not a good team player, maybe there's more revelations coming out about you. But if you are a good team player, there's good money to be made down the road. In fact, Boris Johnson even talked about the tide of fortune coming in his direction. That's not that subtle. Now, for Jeremy Corbyn, he doesn't care about the tide of fortune, and he doesn't care about your machinations. Now, I'm going to tell you one more move against him, and then I'm going to tell you his response. The party's deputy leader, Tom Watson, told Labour lawmakers on Monday he would meet with trade union representatives, Labour's financial bankers, in a last throw of the dice to try and reach a deal over Corbyn's leadership, his spokesman said. Well, this isn't subtle either. They're like, we're going to pull the money. This is all about the money. And Jeremy Corbyn, the people with money, have decided that, that you're not good for their interests. You might be good for UK's interests, but the moneyed interests have decided no dice. Not very subtle. So what is he going to do? To trigger a leadership election, a rival candidate needs the support of 51 or more elected lawmakers. Corbyn has said he will stand again in any contest to replace him. So let me summarize for you in the American vernacular. He said, have at it, Hoss. You want to do a no confidence vote in me? Well, that's like your opinion, man. I hear you. But here's what I'm not doing. Millions of people put me into this office when they voted, not you. Not labor leaders, not moneyed interests, the people voted. Until we get another vote, I'm not leaving. Now you bring in that vote and the people vote against me, then no problem. Then I'm gone. But I'm going to have the people vote. I'm not going to let you vote. I'm not going to let the powerful overturn the will of those voters. So you want to have another election where the actual people of the UK vote? Have at it, Hoss.